You are listening to Nerds with Mics. Today's podcast is brought to you by GameFly.com. Sign up for your premium free 30-day trial specifically for our listeners at the following URL, GameFlyOffer.com/nerdswithmics.
Today, the nerds are talking about comic book characters, other comic book characters, and more comic book characters. It's only the greatest show ever.
Hey everybody, I'm Maxwell.
I'm Travis.
And I'm Justin.
This is episode 13 of Nerds with Mics, a podcast about movies, TV shows, games, technology, and much more. The Nerds with Mics podcast is produced every week for your enjoyment, and show notes are found on nerdswithmics.com. So, guys, what have you been up to?
Well, I have been up to a whole lot of nothing. I've been still on that Pokemon Go crack.
Me too.
I don't know why I'm still playing that game, but
We're addicted.
I accidentally booted up my PlayStation the other day.
Accidentally?
Yeah, and it's been like 4 weeks. It started trying to download all these updates. I was like, no, got to turn that off because I don't have unlimited internet. But yesterday, hold on, what was yesterday? Yesterday was Monday. So Sunday, I played D&D.
Whoa.
For those of you listeners that are nerdy enough to play D&D. Played some D&D over the weekend, and other than that, I've just been playing Pokemon, and still trying to find another show to watch after I've finished Stranger Things. So
I think I gave you a show to watch, Mr. Robot. How's that coming along?
Oh, I gotta find somewhere to watch that because I don't have cable.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, well, I guess I gotta get that then.
Yeah. I've been doing a whole lot of nothing, just Pokemon, like you said. Almost finished with our Office rewatch that we have the finale to watch. We need to watch it tonight.
How many seasons is that?
It's 9 seasons, and we rewatched it. It's been going on since about Christmas, just on and off. So yeah, pretty good.
What about you, Papa Maxwell?
Papa Maxwell has been working his rear end off. Let's see. Yep, that pretty much sums it up.
Oh, fun.
Actually, I did watch Batman vs. Superman Extended Edition, which was 3 hours. 3 hours long. That's what how it is. It was good. Honestly, I mean, I liked it the first time around, and I can't say exactly what they added that was 30 minutes into this one, but it was, for some reason, still more enjoyable than the first time I watched the movie.
Well, that's good. I still need to watch the Extended Edition. I have not watched it since the theater, so I definitely need to check out the Extended Edition that got released on Blu-ray.
Yep.
So.
Justin?
I know, I haven't watched it, but...
Yeah, you stated last week that you bought it.
I do own it. It is in my possession. I just have not watched it yet. But it's funny you say that because at Comic-Con this weekend, they released the first trailer for Justice League. Did you guys see that?
Yes, I think everybody on the internet probably seen it.
So I saw this trailer before I saw the movie.
How'd it make you feel?
Well, all of us have.
Yeah, that's true. I liked it. Without knowing the movie, BVS, I did enjoy it. I will say The Flash stole that trailer. He was so entertaining in that 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I would have to agree. When I was watching Batman vs. Superman and you got a glimpse of the Flash when he was in the convenience store, I wasn't really sold in or bought in on that character as the Flash. But watching the new Justice League trailer, I can totally see that kid in that role. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the guy that plays the Flash in the TV show. But I think they did a good job casting for the Flash for this movie. What do you think about the trailer, Maxwell?
I was really impressed with it. Originally, I thought these characters might be a little too much. What's his name? Cyborg. I was really not sure how that was going to work out, but they kind of sold me in the little scene in Batman vs. Superman, and it's looking pretty good. It's interesting, though, to see, because in the trailer it shows him just walking around without, like, his, metal bits. So I'm wondering if that's like,
I think we have an episode title.
A preview of prior to his, what would you call that? Metamorphosis?
Yeah.
Backstory.
Yeah, you wouldn't know about that little clip that they showed in BVS.
That was one of the toughest scenes to watch, I think.
Yeah, I agree. It was basically his father putting him back together, right? Something like that.
Gosh.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But yeah, I'm kind of with you there, Maxwell. I'm kind of interested to see how they tie that in, where he's walking around looking normal, and then next thing you know, maybe that's like telling the story before whatever happened to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm just sold on Ben Affleck being Batman.
Yeah.
You mostly see him as Bruce Wayne in this, but it's just like he's perfect, man. Yeah. He kills it.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen BVS, but I mean, I've heard amazing things about him in the role, and some people said that. I think it may have been you actually. A lot of people can play Bruce Wayne, a lot of people can play Batman, but no one can really play them both really well. Was it you that said that?
That was me.
Travis said that.
Travis,
yeah,
my
that
bad.
was me, and I still stand by that statement. And I'm assuming Maxwell will probably agree with me.
I'm excited to watch it. I'll probably watch it this week, and I'll report back on Tuesday.
Now,
so it's going to be a big year, right?
Oh, for sure. And I feel like for the first time, I feel like DC's really kind of coming into their own. I mean, obviously we had the Nolan trilogy of Batmans, but other than that, outside of that, like a lot of the DC movies really weren't that great. And now we're getting all these movies, from DC that are really starting to be good movies. So I'm kind of excited to see where the next series of DC movies go. Speaking of which. So the next trailer that we want to talk about that was released at Comic-Con kind of ties in with the Justice League a little bit was the Wonder Woman trailer. Now, I don't know that much about Wonder Woman as a character, but I will say that the trailer looks really good.
It did.
I definitely want to see the movie. I was excited to see that Chris Pine was in the movie from Star Trek. I'm really excited to see, what character he plays, and the time frame of the movie is what interests me the most. It looks like early 1900 maybe. I'm not real sure.
About World War I era.
Yeah, so it looks really good. I think the special effects look good. The way that they filmed the scenes with her fighting, like, sliding, using like her leg armor and boots and stuff like that, and just the special effects look fantastic. So what were your all's thoughts about the trailer?
I'm kind of with you. I don't know a whole lot about her, and without seeing BVS, I know even less than you do. So I was really impressed with it. In fact, I hadn't even watched the trailer until you told me before the show that I should, and I did. And it may be my favorite trailer out of all of them that was shown at Comic-Con.
Yep, she's got the most kick-ass theme music, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That Justice League music was bad.
Yeah, it didn't... It wasn't an action-packed trailer, though.
No, it was like some generic, royalty-free rock music that is just not very good. Sorry, I wanted to go back to that. It was really bad.
I feel like that was something you just had all inside of you that you just wanted to get out.
Yeah. Every time I've watched that trailer, I thought, man, this music sucks. So
let's go ahead and let's switch gears a little bit from comic book. Let's go into, we'll get back into comic book a little bit later, but let's talk about something that you really like, Justin, which is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. What do we see from Comic-Con on this?
We saw a brand new trailer, which kind of, goes into the story a little bit more. That movie does come out in November. It is part of a trilogy, so we'll actually get 3 new Potterverse movies. A new trailer, some new footage, nothing really too much more on the story, except for basically he's lost all of his beasts and now he has to find them. More importantly, though, something that I feel like isn't getting enough recognition is this Sunday we get a new Harry Potter book.
An all-new Harry Potter book?
Yes. Well, kind of. It's a book. It's called Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. It's
is this the short one you talked about a few episodes ago?
No, this is a full book. But it's not like a novel. It's a script for the play in London that starts, I think, sometime soon.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's canon, and I can't wait.
I wonder if they'll make a movie based off this book.
Probably. There was some rumor on the internet a few weeks ago where one of the copyrights they got for it was specifically for like a film version.
So where exactly does this book fall in the timeline? Do you know?
It's like 18 or so years after 7.
And are the main characters still part of this book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's their children. They're going off to Hogwarts.
That's what I kind of figured. So that sounds really cool.
Yeah. That story from a few weeks ago, that ties more in with Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see the Fantastic Beasts pulls as much people into it like Harry Potter with those characters. You got to learn new people. But that kind of worked out with Lord of the Rings and then doing The Hobbit. Mm-hmm. Of course, you got to see some of your favorite characters like Gandalf. But
I have a feeling Dumbledore will be in this, but I mean nothing's confirmed. But I don't. It'd be nice if he was.
Yeah, maybe just like a small little bit or something.
Anything, yeah, I would take it.
Yeah, so let's switch back into comic book news. Let's talk a little bit about Spider-Man. Maxwell?
Yeah, Spider-Man. So, as we've talked about in the past, this one's called Homecoming. So it's hard to play off that title. What exactly it means? Is it really just being direct with like school, or is it just like him in like coming into his right as Spider-Man? But we got confirmed Michael Keaton as the Vulture, which I think he'll be great in. It's just interesting he can't seem to get away from these characters that are all like flight and bird based. You know, like Birdman.
It's in his contract that every part he plays has to have wings.
Yeah.
Something.
I can only visualize him as Birdman now.
Yeah.
As the Vulture, and it'll probably look the same, but whatever.
Did you see Birdman, Justin?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Maxwell, you've seen it as well, right?
Oh, dude, I love that movie.
Yeah,
so good.
That was a movie I went into not expecting to like at all, but I walked away with two thoughts.
Oh, man.
What did I just watch? And that was a really good movie. All at the same time. I got mixed feelings about it.
See, if that's how you felt, you would like Swiss Army Man, because that's how I felt when I left. I was like, what on earth?
Yeah,
happened?
I really need to watch that before it leaves
good.
theaters.
It's already out.
Oh, already?
Yeah, it didn't do well at the box office. It's only
Dude,
it's very
that's
limited.
That's not a very appealing
Yeah.
Well,
start.
it's not, but it definitely is one of those movies I think is so far out there and so interesting that a lot of people probably would see the trailer and be like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and it didn't make a lot of sense when I watched it, but I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's...
It's still my turn.
Stepping on toes, Travis.
Yeah, have you guys watched the TV series Fargo?
Oh, God. Come on. You know the answer to that. I love that show.
I have
you
not.
know Bokeem Woodbine.
Yes, played Mike Milligan in season 2.
He's going to be a villain in the new Spider-Man.
Do we know what villain?
Nope.
Yeah, we'll figure it out sooner or later.
I wonder if it's going to be an original or if it's going to be one that we've seen before.
I think they mentioned originally, right, that they were going to come up with their own like villain for this movie.
That'd be cool. I do know Donald Glover's also in this movie, and if you remember from a few years ago, before Andrew Garfield was cast, he petitioned to become Spider-Man.
The Childish Gambino?
Childish Gambino, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, he's in it, and I don't know who he's playing either.
Dude, I would have loved him as Spider-Man.
I know, he'd been perfect.
Yep.
So more into some different Marvel news. Let's talk about Captain Marvel, which I know absolutely nothing about.
You know, I don't either.
So Brie Larson, she's been in a couple movies. She's been in 21 Jump Street.
Yep.
She was the main character or main female in that, I think, right?
Yeah, she was like the love interest to, I think, Jonah Hill.
Yeah. Also, she was in the movie The Room, which she actually won an Oscar for, which was awesome.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah, so...
You know, I don't know a whole lot about this movie. I am looking forward to seeing, exactly what it is. Kind of with Doctor Strange. I don't really know what that is, but I do have an open mind. And like Guardians of the Galaxy, I didn't know much about that, and I went into it, and I really liked it. Marvel isn't really swinging and missing. They're usually doing pretty great things, so I'm not really worried about it. Whenever they decide to show me more, I'm sure I'll be interested.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. When I went into, and I've probably made this analogy a ton of times, but when I went into watching Guardians of the Galaxy, I knew absolutely nothing about any of those characters, about the storyline, how they tied into the Marvel Universe. But after watching that movie and I walked away, it was fantastic. So, if they can do the same thing with that type of movie as far as bring in the crowd that doesn't know anything about it, and then when they leave, they're totally bought into that series, I think that's really awesome. So,
I agree.
As far as Brie Larson goes, my a guy that I went to college with, he was a animator or cartoonist, I guess. Whatever. He just does it all. He does some outstanding illustrations, and he did one of Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, and he tweeted the picture out, and she saw it and retweeted it and replied back to him, and that was the first time he's had somebody that big respond back.
That's awesome.
Glenn Brogan, if you want to check him out.
What's his Twitter handle or website? Or website, either one.
His website is Albino Raven.
That's a cool name.
Yeah, it really is.
But he's got all the social media, Instagram and everything. You really need to check him out. Honestly, this guy is just outstanding. And he's got a lot of comic book, video game references.
Oh, nice.
He does a lot of big posters and stuff for movies when they're doing different events and stuff. He's done a lot of magazine things. So he's getting really big in that world.
That sounds awesome.
One of the things that, so on a series of things that we wanted to talk about, so we don't know a whole lot about Doctor Strange as a group, right? I don't.
Correct.
Maxwell doesn't.
I don't know anything.
Justin, you don't know anything either. Now, did you actually watch the newest trailer? You didn't, did you?
Did they release one at Comic-Con? Because if so, then no.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, no idea.
So we talked about a few episodes ago about Doctor Strange and how we watched the first trailer, and I think me and Maxwell were kind of confused by the whole thing. Like, we weren't really sure about it.
Yeah.
I know, because I used to think that a Doctor Strange was when you sat on your hand till it went numb and then you wore a doctor's glove. I thought that was the Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that could be. That I didn't see that in this new trailer, but it's possible that could be.
You have to wait for the Red Band trailer for that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's part of his part of his costume. And I know you're real big on the characters not necessarily looking
And
just
sitting on your hand.
Yeah, costumes and sitting on your hand. Wow, fair enough. But anyways, not to get off topic. However, they released a new Doctor Strange trailer at Comic-Con, and I gotta say, this trailer looks by far better than the first trailer, in my opinion. The story seems really interesting. It still seems like it's a little bit of like Inception type stuff, like Inception meets Matrix. I'm not real sure, but it definitely looks like an interesting story. What do you think, Maxwell?
Yeah, you're right with the Matrix and Inception, because when he's training, it looks like the Matrix training scenes. And then when they're in environments that everything's like twisting and the cities are all merging, looks like Inception. I'm pretty interested in how this is going to turn out, because you guys know I'm not a fan of when the costumes look like the costumes from the comics, like to a T. But that's what a lot of people want, so I'm learning to just kind of move with it, because Ant-Man really obviously matched
right
almost to a T to the comics. But it was one of my favorite movies.
Yep, that's another one of those movies that I went in not knowing anything about and totally ended up liking it. I thought the cast was great, the action was great. Paul Rudd, he's funny, but I was kind of worried, how he was going to be like a comic super, hero, but I thought he did a fantastic job. So now let's talk a little bit about something that's not, I wouldn't say it's comic book related, but it was at Comic-Con. Justin, you want to talk to us about a surprise announcement that we have seen?
So there was this movie that was announced by Lionsgate, I don't know, a few months ago. It was under the title The Woods, but there wasn't a whole lot of information on it. And then at Comic-Con, they finally pulled back the curtain and unveiled it a little bit more, and it's actually a new Blair Witch movie. Remember that movie that swept the nation in the 90s, I think? I don't know.
The only thing I remember about that movie was just the snot running down the girl's nose. That's all I can even remember about that movie.
That movie, it was such a big deal, and I don't know. I haven't even watched the trailer for the new one. I don't know if there is one.
It was one of the first movies that were shot completely with like a Handycam, right?
Yeah, and it's also one of the first found footage, which that would make sense with the Handycam. But I don't really know if anybody asked for a sequel, but we're getting one. And
they made a sequel.
Yeah, you're right. Back
like a few years after that one, but it wasn't shot in that style. It was just shot like a normal movie, and it was terrible.
Yeah. The first one really wasn't that great. I mean, it was just okay. It's creepy, but
it was groundbreaking at the time to shoot that way and make it like this got released to the public, but it's a big deal, and that the people actually died, but they were just acting.
Yeah, they're just acting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, no one really. It seems like it might be a little. Maybe this is the perfect time to do a sequel because enough time has passed. A new generation is here. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about the movie. There's very few of those shaky camera movies that I actually enjoy. Like Cloverfield was one of the ones that I enjoyed, but it's hard for me to watch a movie like that. Not because I get sick, but it really has to have a good story in order for me to want to sit through something like that. So let's move on to some Star Wars news.
So you guys know Alden Ehrenreich?
Oh, yes, that's the guy playing the new Han Solo. Am I right?
Yeah. So unfortunately, it was not Jamie Costa. If you guys don't know who he is,
he's a great impressionist. He's awesome.
Oh my gosh! Yes, that guy kills it. But this Alden guy's been signed on to do 3 Han Solo movies, so he must have, done a good job of selling the role there.
I'm always happy when we get more Star Wars, but I'm curious as to what exactly they're going to cover, because Han, when we meet him, he isn't like old or anything. Like, he's still pretty young, and this guy's probably pretty close to Harrison Ford's age when he took on the Han Solo role, I would say. So, like, what is there that we need 3 movies to get to?
Well, you got everything up to our introduction.
Yes, I know that.
You got everything between the episode 7 and
Yeah.
6.
Well, I walked right into that one.
Yep, sure did. Yeah,
All those time gaps that we don't know his history.
Yeah.
I want to see him like hanging out with little Anakin.
Well, you're not probably going to see that, but
I'm just kidding.
You will get to see. I mean, because you never really find out, like, because Chewie obviously had a life debt to Han, but you don't really know how that happens. So being able to see like how they have that friendship or where it started and the story behind that would be super cool.
Okay, I'm going to throw it out there. That means we need to find out how him and Lando met. And that means we need to cast a Lando.
Yeah.
We got to meet we got to learn how what?
Han and Lando Calrissian met.
Right. You said before that, you said Leia?
No, just Lando.
Lando.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but who's going to play Lando? Let's cast him right now. Anthony Mackie.
I was going to say the same thing.
He'd be perfect.
He's good in every role.
He is.
It's easy for you to say his name in any
I know. He's so good.
Well, that would be another good one for the Childish Gambino.
Oh, my God. Yes. I would. Yeah, perfect.
Can I just say Jamie Costa again? Because it's going to pull in kind of a side note here. Jamie Costa, if they were to ever make a movie, which you know they will, about Robin Williams, Jamie Costa is the man for that. I mean, he does a really good job being Han Solo and a lot of other people.
Is this the guy that does like I've seen this video on Facebook or something?
Probably. He's got 100 videos.
Okay, there's this one guy that does an amazing Robin Williams impression on Facebook, and I didn't know if it was the same guy or not.
He looks like him, too, whenever he goes into the role.
Be him, then, the same guy.
But everybody he sounds like, his face matches them. That's why he would have been a good Han Solo. My roommate actually loves Star Wars movies. She loves Han Solo. And when I showed her that video of him, she was like, "Oh my God, this is like the same crush that she had when she watched Star Wars originally." So,
yeah,
sadly, can't get it though.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many. Probably, I don't want to say hours, but there's a lot of time that I spent on YouTube just watching all his different videos with all his different impressions. He's fantastic, and he was on a big campaign for himself to try to get that role, which I thought was really cool. So let's talk about video game movies.
Okay, yeah, a few weeks ago we told you that Jake Gyllenhaal, I think, had been signed on to star and produce and, I don't know, do a bunch of stupid stuff with The Division. That's right, they're turning The Division into a movie. And today it was not really announced because it's still in negotiations, but Jessica Chastain from movies like Zero Dark 30 and other things. I can't really think of what else she's been in.
She was in that awesome movie called Interstellar. You ever heard of that movie?
Maybe. But anyway, she is in negotiations to be the female lead in The Division.
That'd be good. She's a good actor.
Yeah, I think the movie could probably do better than the game did. What do you think?
I'm going to chime in and say Jamie Costa is who I was thinking about. I just looked him up. He is excellent. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think a movie of The Division could do really well. A lot of times the post-apocalyptic, post something really bad happening type movies seem to do really well. I think the two main casting choices are great choices. Yeah. And I do think that this has a chance to be a good movie.
I agree.
So
wait, who's the main
Jake
guy directing? And Jake Gyllenhaal. Oh yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. Just said
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Have you guys seen Nightcrawler with him?
I want to. I haven't got a chance.
You would like that movie because it's kind of more of like a B movie, not a B movie, but like an indie movie, I guess.
Okay. It looks really weird, and
it's weird. It's real weird.
Okay.
You'll love it.
Okay, check it out. I think it's on Netflix still.
Yeah, I heard that's really good. That's where he's like is he like a reporter that goes around at night or something like that, and he sees some stuff he shouldn't have seen, and it looks really interesting. So, now Maxwell, has anybody watched Bates Motel? I have not watched.
I've watched a few seasons of it. It's pretty good.
Is it decent?
Yeah, I think I watched the first and half of the second or something.
Okay, well, we got some news about that show. Maxwell, you care to share?
You know what? I think I will. So it's going into its 5th and final season, which means we all know it has to come to a specific ending, right?
Yes. I'm going to guess where the movie starts to take place, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Marion Crane is the lady that gets the good old death scene, right?
Yes.
In the shower?
In the shower, yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be cast by none other than Lady Rihanna.
Oh, wow.
That's
Really?
that's a surprising casting choice. I can't see that really, but she
Yeah,
might do
I know.
great. I don't know.
What movie was she in?
Hey, Rihanna?
Yeah,
I didn't know she was in a movie.
she played like a tough like soldier, and it was maybe futuristic or something.
Rihanna?
Yeah.
I had no idea she's ever been in a movie.
Oh damn it! It's gonna kill me. You guys keep talking. I'll look it up.
Okay, fair enough. Well, funny enough, the next topic is also yours, but I'll talk about it anyways, and you can chime in later. So, we talked about on the last episode of the podcast how Stranger Things on Netflix was a fantastic show, which Justin still has not watched.
Oh, my God. Get off my back, Mom.
I've gotten so many people to watch this show. I've got the store manager at the place that I work. There's like 3 or 4 other people I got to watch the show, and I've got nothing but positive feedback from them. But what's great is there is news that there's going to be a second season, right, Maxwell?
Yes, which honestly makes me a little giddy inside.
Now, I think you said, I don't know if they've released any more details, but I think you said last episode that it's going to be more of a sequel as opposed to a continuation. Is that right?
I mean, all we know about it really is just that there's going to be a sequel. It's not necessarily going to be a continuation, so
Okay.
we don't really know. But as far as Rihanna, it was that wonderful, wonderful movie, Battleship.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
man.
by wonderful, I mean turd.
Did we
Yeah.
watch that at my house, Maxwell, or did we go to
Yes.
the theaters?
I think at your house.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't have paid money for that movie. It's definitely like a
Well, I think we just watched it because you happened to have it, and we were like, why not?
yeah. And then we were like, "Is this Battleship or is this Transformers?"
It was, Transformers on the water.
He happened to have it, and you said, why not? That's how drug addictions happen.
Yeah,
Got some meth here. Why not?
that's exactly what happened.
And now a word from one of our sponsors.
For you, the listeners of Nerds with Mics, GameFly is offering a premium free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. To get your free trial today, go to gameflyoffer.com/nerdswithmics. Again, that's gameflyoffer.com/nerdswithmics for your free 30-day trial.
So in gaming news, what we want to start talking about is Pokemon Go. Imagine that. We've
Yeah.
talked about Pokemon Go for the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, and we'll probably continue to do so.
Yeah, so a couple episodes ago, we mentioned that Nintendo had made a ton of money off their stocks.
They broke records, yeah.
They did. They cashed out $4.5 billion, which actually made them more valuable than Sony, which is pretty crazy. But recent news, stocks fall as investors start to realize that Nintendo doesn't own 100% of the game. Numbers are still better than when they were before Pokemon Go, but they're actually starting to fall because people didn't realize that game wasn't fully 100% made by Nintendo. So
Pokemon Go, get your stocks back.
I see what you did there. That's pretty good. But we also had some news out of the San Diego Comic-Con. They revealed what the trading system would look like,
Yep.
and they also revealed what gym leaders were announced.
Yeah, each gym's going to have like its own little character that is like not gym, that's team leader, sorry.
Yeah.
It's like Valor, Mystic, and Instinct will each have like a character that is their leader, but
I think we also got a little preview. It's not in the notes, but I believe that I seen something online. They gave a little preview of what the multiplayer combat will look like when you're actually in the world. You'll see other people walking around, and
I didn't hear about
you
that.
can walk up to them and click on their name, and it says, "Do you want to battle?" And you just
oh my gosh.
yeah. So
They did say they were going to start treating this game like an MMO, which
with like
Jesus.
regular updates and stuff.
just everything.
As Maxwell buries his hand,
Oh
his
my
head
God.
into his
I
hand.
thought it was bad already. It's just going to get so terrible when people are walking around trying to find somebody to battle without looking up at them.
I
They're
just
going to just
can't
run
wait.
into them.
I just can't wait until like I go walk around the park and I see 2 people like in the field, like just like 10 feet apart from each other, but like they're staring at each other and they have their phones in their hand and they're dueling. But like there's nothing in between them except for just, I don't know, their imagination.
You know what's funny is that's going to be okay. People are going to do that.
Yeah.
But if there was like some form of battling where you actually got like a Pokeball and maybe there was some kind of like digital based thing and you actually had to like throw that into the yard in front of each other, it would never happen.
We need
People would be
holograms
like,
for this.
No. Yeah.
That'd be so sweet.
you were like, oh my god, these freaking nerds like throwing Pokeballs for real. But if it's like on your screen, it's like nobody cares. They're all doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
That's pretty funny. So a funny story I want to tell. One of my friends, Kevin, Maxwell, you know him. I don't think you've ever met him, Justin.
I think I played Overwatch with him that one.
But a bunch of us from work went out hunting Pokemon the other night, and we went to a local park. And Kevin and myself and our friend Kelsey and Justin were all sitting around, and Kevin and I are Team Valor, so we were sitting battling for this gym. But every time the gym would free up, somebody that wasn't fighting would hop into it.
Snipe it.
Yeah. So we went back and forth for probably 10 minutes. And there's probably 20 people around. And so Kevin and I eventually get into it. And he has like over, I want to say he's got like a 2,200 or 2,400 Snorlax. So he gets in, then I get in, and then somebody else gets in. I think I had like a level 100 or 1,800, what's the water dog looking thing?
Vaporeon.
Yeah, I had one of those. And
Water dog.
And then somebody else put like a 1,500 one. And I hear this girl in the distance says, "Whose Snorlax is that?" And I look over at her. I said, "It's the Asian kid with the backpack." And she says, "Oh, that makes sense." And then everybody dispersed.
Oh my god!
Everybody left because they wasn't going to be able to beat his, and it stayed up all night.
Oh my god!
Damn.
But it was just so funny that girl was like, "Whose Snorlax is this?" And it was also funny that when I said he was Asian with a backpack, she says, "Oh, that makes sense."
Oh my god!
I just wish he would have had like an ash cap on, and he would have had an actual Pokeball in a backpack. It would have just. And then as he was walking, like, because this was like 1 a.m.
Oh my god!
So as we're walking through the middle of this park that's not lit up, he's yelling, "Team Valor, Team Valor."
Oh my god!
And I'm thinking to myself, we are going to get shanked in the middle of this park, and we're going to die for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like, this is a real thing. But that's just something that I wanted to share because I thought it was funny, and it was just another one of the million of ridiculous stories that you hear. But
Oh my god.
so staying with Nintendo news, Maxwell, you have some news about the Nintendo NX, right?
Yeah, so some reports are coming in that Nintendo's at it again with some crazy gimmicky things, but this is probably one of the better ones if this is real. It's reported that they're going to have a cartridge-based handheld, which is kind of interesting to go into, the cartridge is not disc, that can attach to a dock to become a full-fledged console back in the house. So
I do love a good dock.
Yeah, you can put things inside of other things with a dock. It is going to be less powerful than an Xbox One and a PS4, though, but, that's a real surprise.
Must be a pretty weak dock then.
Yeah.
If it comes out 2 years later and it's still weaker.
I know. That's Nintendo's thing, though, is they always put more emphasis on the gimmick than the graphics, and I don't have a problem with that as long as you're producing quality games that I want to play, but you also have to make sure you have a hardware that developers want to develop for, because if not, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. I think if they can, even if they can't land it as an amazing home console, if they can land it with basically the ability, I know obviously it's going to be not as powerful as the Xbox One or the PS4, but if they can give you a really powerful portable console that you could play like the full version of the new Legends of Zelda game and not look like an idiot while you're doing it, I think that could have the potential to do something really awesome. And I'm also thinking about think about if this thing is mobile. Think about if it has a cellular connection or something like that. And then think about maybe possibly playing Pokemon Go on a much larger screen or something.
I just wonder if, since the rumor is it's going to be handheld and a home console, I wonder if this kind of marks the end of the 3DS. You don't really need a 3DS or a DS or whatever the next Game Boy would be if you have a console that can play Legend of Zelda.
And virtual titles, too.
Yeah, exactly. But then it also kind of makes me wonder, if this is going to be the new handheld and home console, maybe games that are handheld exclusives, like Pokemon, will we finally get an amazing, 3D version of that? Animal Crossing, too.
Yeah, and I'm also curious if, this thing will straight have, a 3DS cartridge slot that it will just play your existing.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so I think that would be really cool. Maxwell, how do you feel about it?
The kid in me wants to just love Nintendo because that was the console to have. And Super Nintendo was great. And then, Sega started coming in. They were like, hey, we can make some pretty good games too. I've just fallen out of love
That's sad.
over the last few years because the only thing that's good for me is a good Zelda game and Mario.
Yep.
But Mario's always just like more of like a party thing when you want to play with a couple friends. It's not something I could sit down and play alone and invest some time into.
Well, like the Wii U would have been, I think, a much better console had the new Zelda game come out earlier, and if we would have gotten an Animal Crossing game.
Love Animal Crossing.
Me too. But we got Mario, we got Smash Brothers, we got Mario Kart. We had a couple Zelda remakes, but not a new Zelda game, except for Hyrule Warriors, but we're not going to talk about that. But no Animal Crossing, no Pokemon Stadium, no new Zelda. I mean, the Wii U life cycle was pretty crummy.
Yeah, that was probably the most disappointing console that I've ever seen, in my opinion.
I agree.
I bought it and I had it for over a year, and I will tell you, I probably put less than 20 hours in it.
Yep.
I think in theory, like I like the idea of the gamepad. Like I thought there was a lot of really good theories behind the Wii U console. However, the titles weren't there, and if you don't have titles for the console,
Doesn't matter.
then it doesn't matter.
And no one wanted to develop for it. Like we got, I think Black Ops came out on it, but then that was kind of it for Activision and Call of Duty. I know we got, almost like Mass Effect 3 came out on it, but then like EA kind of stopped doing stuff with it, and no one wanted to make anything for it. It's too weird.
I think they focused on too much to try to have first-party games as opposed to really opening up the platform to third-party titles. Yeah. Because some third-party titles and like the partnerships with those consoles are what sells consoles. Like, if Call of Duty has, a partnership with Microsoft or PlayStation, somebody may want to buy a console specifically because of that partnership, and they didn't really have that. They only had a partnership with themselves with first-party titles, and there wasn't nearly enough. Yeah. So. All right, well, let's move on to Rockstar news, which who doesn't like some good Rockstar news, right?
Oh, I love it.
Now, in my opinion, I have never seen a game get supported so much after the fact with free content than I have with Grand Theft Auto 5. Like, if you think about games that have free content that comes out and are always getting updated, Grand Theft Auto 5, in my opinion, is probably one of the best games for that. They've released a slew of free updates to the online community. Now, I will say I'm kind of disappointed they have never released any like story DLC or like any kind of like, single player DLC. It's all been multiplayer, which I think is one of the biggest reasons that game probably still sells as well as it does, is because of the online community. But so I missed this update. So there was a Cunning Stunts update, and I'm glad I didn't slur my words there. It might have sounded like something else, but yeah, there's a Cunning Stunts update that basically introduced a bunch of stunt tracks. It introduced a slew of cars, but there is a second version of that update coming out that's going to add 13 new vehicles, 16 new stunt races, new customization options, and 2 new race modes. And then they're also going to have stunt series. They're going to have premium races. And then they're also going to have a stunt race creator, so you can actually create your own stunt tracks, which is super cool. So altogether, there are 27 Rockstar-created stunt races available in this update. So the second version of this update actually launches on August 2nd, so it's right around the corner.
Okay.
So how do you think they're making all their money off this?
Shark cards.
Yeah, shark cards. I mean, I've even fell victim of buying fake money in game, spending real money. Like, that's happened.
I waited for the game to go on sale and then bought it basically for the full $60 because it came with a shark card.
Because there was so much stuff in that game that it would take you forever to save up money for, that a lot of people, instead of like constantly doing a heist and robbing banks and all that type of stuff, like they would much rather just cut the middleman out and just buy a card and get the in-game content.
It's definitely not pay to win, but it's a lot of the better things are hidden. I mean, either behind a grind or you can just pay to get to it. So
yeah, I would say that's probably the biggest reason.
Yeah,
sure.
And like the grind to get enough money to buy a yacht is ridiculous. It's like $8 million for a yacht, and that would take just too much time. I don't have it. Yeah. But I agree about it being updated more than any game in recent memory. But I want single player DLC. I want to know what Trevor was doing.
Don't
from the
no
moment.
spoilers because I have not beat that game.
There's no spoilers. I want to know what Trevor was doing from the moment Michael died at the beginning of the game, supposedly, to the moment he realizes Michael's alive. I mean, we got a small glimpse in like the form of like one day, but I kind of want to jump into that meth making business that he was doing. Trevor Phillips Enterprises.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you had talked about on the last episode of the podcast was the new Batman Telltale game. So there's some recent news on that?
Yeah, it kind of came out of nowhere today. It's going to include, in a sense, they're saying online multiplayer. Basically, as you're playing the game, people can kind of join in while you play and then vote. Kind of like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire's Ask the Audience. They can vote on what decisions you're going to make. And I think it's out of your control if you opt to play this way. So you may want to save a character, and they may want to kill that character. And if they vote to kill the character, you don't get a say in it. They just die. Kind of neat. I like that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely different that because most of their games is all really known for being a single-player game. So the fact that they're introducing a multiplayer element to this game is really interesting, especially in a Batman series. So I think that's really cool.
You don't have to play that way. It's just an added feature, so something neat.
Maxwell, have you played any Telltale games at all?
No, sir.
Yeah, there's some good ones. Did you watch Walking Dead or no?
Yeah, actually, I was planning to catch up because I'm a couple bits behind. But I knew that they did the Telltale games for that.
I'm going to go ahead and say I think the Walking Dead game from Telltale Games is better than anything they've put out on TV.
It is.
That's intense.
It's really good.
Well, I think the big thing is, too, the story is really good, but it also feels like it's very weighted because it's you making those decisions.
Right.
And it changes. It has multiple endings, do they not?
It's got
Kinda.
one pretty big ending, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few different things that happen.
Yeah. So
No, I'm looking forward to the Batman one because I, for some reason, have not taken on any of the Arkham series, even though I watched plenty of people play it.
Well, did you get my text this morning? No.
Probably. I mean, I probably received
as
it.
he looked over,
Arkham Knight at Best Buy right now is $9.99 on PS4,
that's right.
or $7.99
Yes.
if you're part of that club. I don't know.
maybe I'll have to do that. Was that just
Dude,
a one-day
I
deal or
guess.
what?
I don't know.
The DLC with that one actually got my attention a lot too.
Yeah. I love the fighting in those games.
So good.
It's the biggest thing. So, all right. Well, let's talk about something that Maxwell is still skeptical of. Let's talk about No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
So there was some news that actually released today that No Man's Sky, and this is one of the first titles. I don't know if this is because it's exclusively launching on PS4 console-wise, but No Man's Sky will not require PlayStation Plus to play. Now, I don't know if that's because it is not a multiplayer game technically, or
Like it's not multiplayer, but you're always online.
yeah, so maybe that's why it doesn't.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not like a special deal. Maybe it's just because you're not playing with friends, so therefore you don't need the subscription, even though you're playing online, I guess.
Remember when you could play with your friends for free?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah. But I thought that was pretty interesting news because, it's great for people that don't obviously want to pay for a PlayStation Plus membership, but want to play this game. I know I'm excited about the game. Justin's excited. Maxwell has no interest and is still skeptical it's even going to come out in 2 weeks. Is it 2 weeks out?
August 9th, yeah.
Yeah, August 9th is going to be. And,
We'll see.
yeah, and if it is, I'm supposed to wear a Trump hat. Remember that you said that a couple episodes ago that I have to wear a Trump hat. So yeah, let's do that. So, Maxwell, why don't you talk about some games that are getting remade that I'm extremely excited about?
Yes. So, you guys have a PlayStation 4?
Yes.
Justin?
Yep.
Okay. Nobody cares about Xbox One.
No, I do.
No, I'm just kidding. So PS4, Xbox, and home PC. Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
He said that with like a question mark because he
No, that was just like that's all you need. Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Well,
like the ideas, the thoughts, the memories that come flooding through when I think about that coming back out on our existing consoles. Dude, I'm pumped.
Did you even play those games? I have a feeling
Yes.
you're really trying to sell this and you've never played it.
No, I am like serious about this. Like we even talked on one of the other episodes about how
Batman
they need games more like
versus Superman. Like that movie, guys.
This is the reason I'm excited about this game is because I've always wanted to get into like the Lego Marvel games, but the bad thing about those games is not that they're geared towards kids, because they're actually really fun.
They are.
But it's the fact you cannot play online co-op that aggravates me to death. So I'm excited to be able to get like a top-down, like dungeon crawler type game, kind of similar to like Diablo, but with Marvel characters. And I'm so excited for this.
So, obviously you can play locally like you used to. You can get online with it. And here's the thing. If you like both of the games, you can save some money, get both of them for $60, or if you only liked one out of the two, it's $40. This comes out July 26th, so depending on when you listen to this, you're late to the game, or you've already picked it up. Yeah. So
I'm going to have to get that.
Yeah, it should already be downloading.
Yeah, you're not going to buy it. Don't even act like you're interested.
No, I'm going to. If one of you guys get this game.
Well, if one of us gets it, then the other will have it because we game share. So we'll all three be able to form an alliance minus one.
Yeah.
Is it 4-player or is it? I can't remember.
I need to find somebody to share games with them because I'm going to sit here and spend $60 and you guys spend $30 apiece.
Yep, pretty much.
Effed up.
Yeah, I don't know. You know who you should reach out to? Raphael.
I need a friend that only buys like 2 games a year so that we benefit from each other.
That would probably be Raphael. I don't think he plays that. I don't think he plays his PlayStation as much as he does his Xbox. So he'd be a good candidate.
Yeah.
Or that Asian that I spoke about earlier named Kevin. Kevin. But yeah. So all right, Maxwell. Why don't you go ahead and take us into some miscellaneous news?
Okay. Miscellaneous news.
Yes.
So, do you guys know who Dan Harmon is?
I love Dan Harmon.
So, he's responsible for shows like Community, right?
Yes, one of my favorites.
And Rick and Morty, which I've tried to watch a couple times, and it's not my jam.
I have never watched it, but I kind of want to.
Yeah, I do love Community. So, there's a new show called HarmonQuest that he's responsible for, and it's basically him with a bunch of other comedians, and then he's got some regular guests that go along with him. They have a dungeon master. They're doing Dungeons and Dragons. So the show is basically set up. They're on a stage at a table, and there's several of them out there, and they're playing the characters and everything. And there's a live audience, so they get the real reactions and stuff. But they go back and do animated cartoons over top of their voices. So if you've seen, have you guys seen Drunken History?
Yes.
So you know how they'll tell the story and then they get people to go back in and act over the voices?
Yeah.
So they're doing that with the cartoon, so that way they can do all the Dungeons and Dragons, exciting stuff. So
it looks. I saw a clip that you sent to me earlier. It looks really great, and I can't wait to watch it.
I don't know anything about any of what you just said other than Dungeons and Dragons. That's all.
Well, it's because you've been too busy typing into our our notes here things such as dick punches, butt stuff, and butt plugs.
I did not.
What are you talking about? That's not in the notes.
That is not in the notes, sir.
They're definitely in the notes. I think you copied and pasted from your personal notes, though. Of your shopping list.
I did. I airdropped.
Yeah, your shopping list got pulled in here. So don't forget your butt stuff and butt plugs, Travis.
already have them. That was from last week. Anyways, moving on to other things. Other than what Maxwell just brought up about my shopping list. That's embarrassing.
No, that was your mom's shopping list.
Oh, no.
Yes!
Oh, my goodness.
You got it in there.
How's she doing after last night?
What's that mean?
No, I'm just kidding.
What do you mean by that, Justin?
You know what I mean.
I don't understand. Anyways, so this is one of the more exciting parts of the show for me is we actually get to talk about some listener feedback that we got this week. So Justin actually put on our website earlier today, which is Tuesday, July 26th. He posed a question. He said, on our last episode, we asked about what game series from a previous gen that you would like to see brought back. One of our friends, Josh, that's a listener, he said he would like to see Pilot Wings brought back, which is an awesome game from the Super Nintendo. I think it was also on the 64, but my favorite version was on the Super Nintendo. He said Men of Valor, which I did play. That was a first-person shooter on Xbox and PC. He said was the best first-person shooter, but basically nobody is even aware that game existed. But then he made the answer that would make me and Maxwell proud. He said, Metroid, obviously. That should have been my first and only answer. So,
dude, yeah, that's just bring back Super Metroid.
Yeah, I mean, just a 3D side-scrolling version of that. You don't need to make it you don't need to make it like first person or anything like that. I'm fine with that. So, and then we also got some feedback from one of our listeners, Justin, which is always writing in feedback to us.
Yeah,
which we really, really appreciate.
Superfan Justin.
Superfan Justin, thank you for listening. So, Justin, why don't you talk about what he said?
Okay, yeah, he asked the question. He says, "Do you guys buy games new at full price, or do you wait for a sale to roll around? What do you do?"
I personally just obviously never buy the games. The last game that I owned, I think was actually, I think I bought Battlefield 4, but it was already out for a long, long time. So I got it discounted, but Travis got Alien Isolation, and it was a Black Friday deal for like $20 or something.
Yeah,
and
did you take that to Florida with you? I made you take it with
I don't
you.
even, yeah, it's in this box right here. I don't even think I've played $20 worth of the game yet, because it's just too hard to play alone. Because I'm
it really is.
Sad little child.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, at first, like, I would say probably to the past 6 months, like, if a game was coming out that I was really excited about, like, I would buy it day one. Yeah. But here recently, like, I've just been waiting on, like, I will buy a $60 PlayStation card, and I will just wait for games to go on sale, and I'll buy 5 or 6 games for the price I would have paid for one $60 game. Now, there are a few exceptions to that rule. Like, there's
No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely games that, like,
Uncharted
wouldn't come out. Yeah, I mean, but, like, there's certain games that I don't care to wait on. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely titles like you said, like Just Cause was one of them for me because I love that game. Yep. Uncharted was one that I bought day one. But there was a couple games that I played that I definitely, when I bought them day one, I was like, I definitely could have waited to get this game on sale. And I know this is going to break your heart, but Rainbow Six was one of those games.
What?
Rainbow Six was one of the games that I wish I would have waited that went on sale.
Well, yeah, it goes on sale all the time.
Well, I just meant because I didn't care for it that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have.
But see, you
just wish that you didn't buy it at all.
Yeah.
I know. You returned it, and then I got it, and we game share, so you still have it.
I mean, I still have it, but still.
For the low price of $0.
Yeah, but what about you, Justin?
I'm kind of like you. If a game comes out, like an Uncharted, or this is going to sound stupid to you guys, but I've bought NBA 2K every year since the very first one on Dreamcast on the day it comes out. So I kind of have to get that one every year. If I don't, I'm pretty sure the world will end. Grand Theft Autos, of course. Anything that like I'm just really looking forward to. Other than that, I'll generally wait for a sale. But since I have started game sharing on Xbox and PS4, I do buy more things new because I'm only out $30 for each game. So it's kind of changed things for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a good way to look at it. I think that's a great question. I would really be interested to hear. We'll also post this question on our Facebook page because I would like to hear some of our listeners' responses and see how they do it. Because I'm willing to bet that there's probably a lot of people that are waiting for things to go on sale unless they're super popular. So, all right, now it's time to get into the part of the show where we talk about our pick of the week. Pick of the week. Maxwell and that
it's always
delay.
Always going to get thrown off on my delay, yeah.
Yeah, thanks. We got to figure out a way. We got to figure out a better way for that.
Pre-record it.
I'm going to do.
Guys, move to Florida.
Hey, it doesn't sound like a bad idea.
I'll tell you what. 2 things. 1, you get rid of Pitbull, and 2, you get rid of Flow Rider, and I'll consider it.
Oh, and the humidity. I don't want that.
Yeah, because the humidity is so great up here.
Never then.
Yeah, it's true. It's been awful up here.
Yeah, it's been terrible.
It's 102 or something up there, right?
Yeah, it felt like 104.
Hotter up there than it is down here.
It rained earlier and it felt amazing, and then it stopped and it felt like hell again. So.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and talk about our picks of the week. So,
Travis, you got an interesting one here.
Yeah, I do have an interesting one. Pick of the week for me, I was going to say Dungeons & Dragons because I'm finally starting to get into playing the game. And when I say Dungeons & Dragons, I mean we don't put on stuff and we don't act stuff out. It's just pen and paper, rolling dice with a map. It's really cool. But that's
really cool?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just joking. I want to play. I really want to play.
It's a really fun time because the thing is it's not about – I don't know. It's about how you play your character because you can literally play your character however you want. If you want to be a total jerk – if you want to be helping other people out, like you can literally just play your character however you want. Like,
can you be the villain?
I mean, technically you can if the dungeon master allows it. Man, I'm sounding really nerdy right now.
Hey, you know what? If you want to get an idea of what Dungeons and Dragons is like, watch that show
I'm
we
going
talked
to.
about, right?
I'm going to watch it tonight.
And that'll probably get you a little excited to try it out with Travis.
Yep.
Yeah. But
Kayla plays. She used to play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, let's have a Dungeons and Dragons night.
Man, respect. She's way
No.
I know.
No. That was her and I used to just role play.
Oh, no. Wah, wah, wah. Pow, pow, pow. Wow, I hope Kayla... Does Kayla listen to every episode?
She does listen to this show.
Wow. What character does she play, Maxwell, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm so sorry, Kayla.
It's something about your shopping list. Don't worry about it.
Oh, no.
Got it.
She's so innocent.
But anyways, my pick of the week, and I know this is going to sound really strange because it's not like anything you would probably hear on this podcast, but me and a group of my friends, their names are Bruce, Ryan, and Josh, we all recently started playing disc golf. I know that it sounds really weird. Like, I tried my hand at real golf, not a fan.
Really?
Not really.
I love it.
No, I feel like after every shot I could break every club over my knee. And the last time I played golf was the last time, well, I almost said the last time I played golf is the last time I ever played, but that doesn't make any sense. But
That makes 100% sense.
But I hit the best shot I hit all day, but the head of my club flew off.
Oh, man, that sucks.
I was done. I was like,
snapped it.
Yeah. So, but anyways, disc golf, if you have not done it and you are looking for something to do outdoors and you enjoy Frisbee, you should definitely check it out. And the great thing about it is it's free. They're all typically in public parks and, different places. And instead of hitting a ball, you're just throwing a disc down.
Like a Frisbee?
Yeah, well, there's different Frisbees. You have one that's like an actual driver, one that's medium range.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
And then there's one called a putter, and they all are weighted different depending on
Okay.
what situation you need it. But what's really cool about it is that the courses vary so much. Like the course that we go to, like half of it is literally in the woods. So you're throwing like through trees, around trees, and then some of it's just in full open places. But yeah, it's free. It's not expensive to get into. Like if you go to Dick's Sporting Goods, you can get a starter kit with 3 discs to get you started. It's like $30. So instead of paying like hundreds of dollars for clubs, plus you're getting out and you're walking. And what I've been doing is
Besides Pokemon Go.
Well, I leave Pokemon Go open in my pocket. So as I walk, I get credit for hatching eggs.
Nice.
Maxwell looked up like you're an idiot, but yeah, that's my actual pick of the week. Maxwell, what about yours?
It's going to be the extended edition of Batman vs Superman. It's 3 hours long, but it's 3 hours of good.
3 hours of good.
Yeah, I definitely need to check it out. What's odd is I'm the odd man out in this group because I have not bought the extended edition yet, so I need to do that. But at least I don't own it and haven't watched it.
Exactly. Borrow Justin's because he'll never watch it.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are jerks.
Yeah. Well, maybe, I'll tell you what, maybe if
It's
Kayla
Howl's
dresses
at
up as Wonder Woman, you may be more apt to want to watch it.
No, I'll watch it whenever I watch it, okay?
Okay. Sorry, Kayla, I love you. But what about you, Justin? What is your, you actually have I'm really proud of you because you actually have a pick that is not a show and is not a game. Yeah. It's a piece of technology.
It is. Well, the last couple weeks, well, not last week, but the week before last, we tried to record on my MacBook, and we were having some issues with it, just where it was a 2011 MacBook, so I got rid of it. And I got a new shiny 12-inch MacBook with a Retina display, and currently recording tonight's episode on it. It is so thin, very sleek is the word I would use. Travis,
I like how you're describing this.
How would you describe it?
Well, did you say it was space gray?
Space gray.
So it's very manly looking.
Yes. The only issue, and it's really not even an issue because I kind of corrected that, was the USB drive. It does lack a traditional USB port, but other than that, I bought the little adapter for it that has USB, the USB-C charger port, and then HDMI in case we ever wanted to, I don't know.
Yeah, USB-C is it's really interesting. It's not technically a standard yet, but I could see it easily being the standard eventually. The fact that it's so universal and it's such a small port, because even cell phones have that port built in. So I think eventually we're going to see it on more and more devices. The interesting thing about your MacBook, though, is did you know that there's literally no moving parts in that whole machine, not even fans? Did you know that?
Yeah, I knew there were no fans. I've been keeping an eye on my temperature, and it hasn't been too bad.
Well, that's good. I would say that the MacBook is probably a great option for somebody that wants something that's almost as portable as an iPad, but wants a fully functional computer. Yep. It's a great machine.
I love it.
And it gets a lot of crap because they say it's not really that powerful, but I know people that have them that run Photoshop. I mean, we're recording this podcast on it, for God's sake. But yeah, no, I think it's a great pick. I'm kind of jealous. I have an 11-inch MacBook Air, but mine's got an i7. It's got
You just wish it was a little bit bigger.
even just an inch bigger. It would make all the difference.
Sometimes it's just about how you use it.
I guess that's true. But yeah, so those are picks of the week. And actually, I would like to challenge our listeners, if you guys have any good picks, to make sure that you share them with us either through a message or through an email or
comment
on Facebook. I would love to hear what you guys have that, whether it's a new game, a comic, a piece of technology. I would love to hear some of the things, because what's great about this is if we start to get a lot of feedback, we can dedicate a place on our page where people can go and look at previous mentions, and we can add links where you can go find these things. But I would like to see,
Can we add any Zeldas? Or just links?
Oh man, you got us.
Wow, you got us. So that pretty much does it for this week. One of the things that I want to, and it's kind of been a theme over the past few things we talked about, but want to challenge our listeners for feedback. I know we have a couple people that listen, on a regular and offer feedback regularly, but I would like to hear some feedback from some new people that we haven't heard from. I think that would be fantastic. Whether it's feedback specifically on our podcast, if you don't like the format, if there's content that you would like us to add, or just like Justin's been writing in, if you just have questions that you would like to ask or have answered, feel free to write those in. I think that can add a lot to the show.
One interesting tidbit from this last episode specifically is we saw a spike in listeners in the UK. So, to our new UK
that is
friends,
awesome.
To our new UK friends, thanks for listening, and we welcome your feedback. Hope to hear from you.
Yeah, it's good to know that we finally made it global.
Yeah, we've had a few.
Oh yeah, we're real big in Mexico, right?
No, not listener-wise, Facebook-wise, yeah, but we have a lot of listeners. We have a few listeners throughout. Like we have a couple in India.
There's some in Canada too, right?
Canada. I think a few in Germany and France. But this, I'm talking like double digits in the UK, which just came out of nowhere.
Well,
so
thanks, UK. We appreciate it. So make sure that you guys feel free to come back and add this podcast to your favorite podcasting platform, whether it's on Android, iOS, on your computer, iTunes, however you get your podcasts. And make sure that you also like us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Twitch. We really need to start getting into Twitch.
I know.
Justin and I are really planning on, once we get
No Man's Sky
we're going to start twitching that.
I'm going to quit my job when that comes out.
There's been people that's quit their job over Pokemon, so it wouldn't surprise me.
For real?
Yeah, for real. He's going to be a professional trainer. So, but also want to let you know that all links that we have are also found in the show notes.
And Zelda's, as Maxwell would say.
As Maxwell would say. So make sure that you check out our website. And also, for those of you that haven't checked out our website, if you are becoming such a fan of our show that you want to support us, we actually have a store on our website where you can actually buy Nerds with Mike's gear, like hats and hoodies and T-shirts. So if you want to show your support, make sure that you buy a T-shirt and represent while you walk around public. We would really appreciate it. And that pretty much does it, guys, right?
Yep, let's get the show started.
That's all I got.
That's all I got. That's going to be the running joke, right?
Yeah.
So thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks.